Nari McDiarmid with you, and it's great to be speaking with Dr. Andrea Marsland-Smith, Chief Executive of Alligator Energy. And Andrea, you'll be speaking at MiningNews Select in Sydney. So thank you for taking the time to speak beforehand. What opportunity does Alligator present to investors?
Well, look, we're really going to be the next uranium mine permitted in Australia. So we're positioning ourselves to do that currently. Um, we're in the right jurisdiction in South Australia that supports uranium mining and exploration. We're having 5 mines in operation already. 4 of them are in situ recovery mines. The Samphire project, our flagship project, is also another in situ recovery project. So well versed with the regulators, etc., going through the approvals process and then the permitting and getting into production. So South Australia is well versed in situ recovery processes. Look, we've got great mineral resource expansion potential. Only 30% of the area that we think are prospective for in situ recovery resource expansion has been tested by any drill hole. So we've got about a 70% upside in the area that we hold of prospective ground still to explore. Lastly, it's really the team. So we've been looking at restructuring and we're in part doing that and nearly finalised the restructure such that we can take this project through to production. The team has about 65 years of combined experience in situ recovery. So we're a very specialised team in this style of mining and very well positioned to bring this project forward into production.
Now, speaking of taking Samphire into production, you've had some big news out this week with the commissioning of the pilot plant there. So, what are some of the features of Samphire?
So we, over the last 3 years, have defined 18 million pounds of JORC compliant resource, which is enough to sustain a 12-year mine life at 1.2 million pounds per annum production. And it has robust economics already at $75 a pound, at which we did our scoping study in December 23. The long-term uranium price is now 90, so the economics of this project has improved even more so. The last 3 years, we've also been working on getting a retention lease, which has enabled us to do this field recovery trial. So we're testing every part of the process to do with in situ recovery mining at the Samphire project, in particularly at a deposit called the Blackbush deposit. There's another small deposit called Plumbush, which is still at the prospect level, but we're about to focus on that in the coming year to start bringing that into JORC compliance. So there's upside there again in terms of the mineral resource estimate. And we're also hoping then to aggressively drill in between those two areas. There's about 5 kilometres in between, again, not tested by any drill hole. So we're really hoping some good news flow through our drilling campaign, our field recovery trial, and also the results of the field recovery trial will dovetail into a bankable feasibility study that we're targeting to have completed by February or Q1 next year.
Well, you've touched on also the prospectivity there at Samphire, and you've also got the Big Lake discovery as well. So you're well funded. You've got about 20 million in the bank at the start of this year. So what's your focus in the near term, Andrea?
So just on top of that $20.5 million, we've also got 7.5 million coming in from our divestment of our Northern Territory tenements to DevEx. So that again will bolster the balance sheet there to help us finish off the field recovery trial, which will be completed in about June. B, keep drilling, aggressively drill, not only extension of the existing resources, but start in the wider area exploring, looking for new resources. The next one will be BFS, finish that off Q1 next year. We're kicking off mining lease applications as well this year, so that's another activity that those costs are going towards. And then we're also going to get on ground at Big Lake next month and recommence our exploration drilling there. So a busy few months and a good stream of workflow and news flow coming through.
Well, longer term, Andrea, what does success look like for Alligator?
Obviously, we're a producing team, so we would love to see Samphire project in production by around 2030, 2031. Secondly, Big Lake developed through to maybe an advanced project. I would really love to see another province, uranium province in South Australia open up, and we're hoping that this project is the start of that. So we'll know more when we start drilling in March, and then just overall portfolio growth. So we've got our eyes on how we can grow the business and start looking at other assets to either acquire or identify ourselves and bring online.
Lots in the pipeline. Andrea, thank you for taking the time to speak today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Nari. Thank you.